Let's walk it home with a card trick, shall we? We're gonna get someone from the audience here. Yes, ma'am. What's your name, please? Zara, come up here, please. You know how to use a stopwatch, Zara? I'll talk to you. No big deal. You take the stopwatch right here. And this is all very important. When I tell you to go, you punch this right button. What I need out of you is a readout every 30 seconds. So at 30 seconds, you go, 30 seconds. 1 minute, you go, 1 minute. 1 minute 30, you go, 1 minute 30, and so on. You'll figure out all the rest of the numbers as they come up. Okay, Zara? We're gonna step right over here. I'm gonna have you stay in this box. I need one more person up here that I'll actually do the trick for. How about you, sir? What's your name, please, sir?
Dan.
Dan? Right up here, please, Dan. So Zara and Dan. Right up here, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Now, Dan, I'm gonna be doing a card trick for you. And this card trick is wonderful for the people on TV and for the people sitting up close. But there are human beings sitting very far back for whom this is a stupid and irritating little prop. So Dan, to give those people back there something to look at while we're doing the card trick, just go over there and just grab that yellow scuba tank and drag it slowly, Dan. Drag it slowly right down to about here, okay? Yeah, rather slowly, Dan. Just drag it right down here. Yeah. Right down here, Dan, yeah. A little slower than that, Dan, a little slower. Right down here, Dan, yeah. Over toward me a little bit. Over toward me a little bit, Dan. Yeah, move it right over here, Dan. Beautiful, Dan. Now, like I said, to give the people in the back something to look at while I'm doing the card trick with Dan, Teller will be holding his breath for the entire card trick. I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. Teller's not holding his breath now. You see by the bubbles coming up and the regulator in his mouth, Teller is breathing relatively comfortably, except that I'm stepping on his head. I'm sorry, man. We haven't done this bit in a while, but now, he's breathing comfortably through this scuba tank here. I will not actually stop breathing until I start the card trick proper. Now, Dan, Teller is holding a lock and a key in his hand there. So go over there and just grab that lock from his hand, feed it through the hasp, and lock him securely in his underwater coffin of certain doom. Would you please there, Dan? Yeah, click it into place if you would there, Dan. And then right back to that place, if you would, please. Let me just make sure this is on. Now, Teller is holding the key to this lock, and indeed quite literally to his life in his upstretched left hand, and has sworn on his honor as a gentleman that he will not relinquish that key to these supremely skilled hands. Find the card selected by Dan. Now, for those of you who are interested, the world's record for holding one's breath on purpose is 5 minutes and 35 seconds and is held, like so many records, by the great 𝙈𝙖𝙜𝙤𝙤 𝙤𝙤. Now, you've heard of people going longer than 5:35, but they're using tricks or they're hyperventilating with pure oxygen. This is being done with normal air. 5 minutes and 35 seconds does not seem particularly long to you. I challenge you to hold your breath along with Teller. Stay in your seats. It's a small tank. When I start this, take a deep breath and then hold it until I find Dan's card. Zara, I've not forgotten you. Stare right at Teller's lips. And the instant that regulator comes out of his mouth, the very moment he can no longer breathe, that's when you punch that right-hand button. Yeah. Now, Dan, if you would please, go over there and grab the hose and pull the regulator and the hose all the way out of the tank. Would you please, Dan? Pull it out there, pull it out. Go, go, is it going? Is it going, Zara? It's going good. Take the regulator and the tank and drag it right over there to Nathan Santucci, who's our director of covert activities. Drag it over there, and as soon as you're back over here, Dan, we'll start the trick proper. Dan? As soon as you're, yeah, please. Dan, please. Wonderful, wonderful, yeah. Right here, Dan. Right in the next one. Now, Dan, a lot of the magicians that we see work here and there will start with a deck of cards that's already open. And
30 seconds.
Nicely done, Zara. That'll give you a chance to gimmick it. You can stack them, mark them, corner short them, and do all the other things we do out in Vegas. So as you've seen in these shows, magicians will often, when showing off for one another, start with a sealed deck of playing cards. Now, a lot of times, they slit the bottom of the deck, pull the cards out, gimmick them, slide them back in, and scotch tape it up. But check all of that. Is that shrink wrap all real?
Yep.
It hasn't been broken anyway? Open the shrink wrap, would you please? There's a pull tab on the side, like a pack of smokes.
1 minute.
Nicely done, Zara. Just pull the shrink wrap right off there. Get a hold of the tab there. Just pull the shrink. You maybe just rip it. Yeah, well, Dan, why don't you just do this? Yeah, just use that. But make sure that the seal is okay there, Dan. Is that seal unbroken?
Yeah,
you look through the shrink wrap. Just rip it off. Yeah, don't stab it through the cards, Dan. This is a knife. This is where you, don't stick it into your hand. Yeah. You're a good choice, Dan. And then,
1 minute 30.
Nicely done, Zara. Now pull out all the cards, please. If you turn it over, gravity's your friend. Throw the box on the floor. It's the last thing of the night. Doesn't matter. And there's jokers on the face. Lose them, please. And there's advertising cards in the back. There's maybe one more card. Yeah, lose the advertising cards as well. And now give the cards a thorough shuffle and take your time shuffling unless you have a shred of human decency anywhere in your soul. You're shuffling the cards. What do we have right now?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay. My hands are empty. I want you to see this very clearly. Dan, look at my hands. I'm gonna take the cards from you. I'm not gonna change the order. I'm not gonna add anything or take anything from the deck. I'm just gonna fan them out. Then take any one card. Do not let me see it. Do not. Any one card you like, do not let me see it. I'm gonna turn around. When I turn around, Dan, look at the card yourself, memorize it, and then hold the card up. Let the audience see it and also hold it. Yeah, he's showing the card around, Teller.
2 minutes 30.
Nicely done, Zara. And now once you've done that, Dan, take this magic marker here, please. Go back to your spot and then take the tap off and write on the face of the card. That's the side of the card that's different from all the others. The side with the suit and the value and so on. Write your name right across there, across the white spot of the card. Write your name right across there. Once you've written your name across there, put the cap back on the
3
marker.
minutes.
Hand it back to me. Nicely done, Zara. Hand it back to me, please. The marker, not the card, the marker. Hand it back to me, if you would, please, Dan. And now, Dan, go back to your spot and then take the card and show it once again to the audience and to the camera so they get a shot of it. Make sure you remember your card's suit value and has your name on it. I'm gonna turn around now. Please conceal the card from me, Dan. I don't want to see it at all. And let's just take it right there. Don't bend it. If you bend a card, the new deck is as good as found. And then we will shuffle that.
3:30.
3:30. 3:30, Dan. Let me just give these a shuffle. And another shuffle, and a cut. And Dan, you know your card, is that correct? Now, before now, Dan, I've not asked you your last name. What is your last name, Dan?
Ali.
Ali? Dan Ali. Hold your hand up just like this. Do you have a middle initial you use, Dan?
L.
L. Dan L. Ali. Hands are empty right here. Dan L. Ali.
4
D.
minutes.
Nicely done. D-A-N. L, Ali, A-L-I, is that correct? A-L-I right there. Your card with your name on it, was it the 2 of clubs?
No.
It wasn't?
No.
D-A-N-L-A-L-I, Dan
4 minutes 30.
Nicely done. Is that your card?
No.
I don't seem very worried, do I, Dan? Before the show even started, I put a card in my left-hand suit jacket pocket. Make it a little more interesting, Dan. I put this card in a sealed envelope. What does it say on that envelope, Dan?
Noon today.
Noon today, before the show even started. What I'd like you to do, Dan, listen carefully. When I tell you to, rip the top off the envelope, pull the card out. Remember, you have the punchline, I don't. So verified is indeed your card.
5 minutes.
Nicely done. Write suit, write value, and is your name on it. When you sure it's your card, loudly, clearly, slowly. Yes, Penn, that's my card. Hold it up. What do we have right now? What do we have?
5 minutes, 9 seconds.
5, go. 5-9, Teller, we're cool. Go, open it up, loudly, clearly, yes, Penn, that's my card. Loudly, go, yes, Penn, that's my card.
No.
Seriously, do not make a joke. Is that your card?
No.
Is that your card, Dan?
No.
No, does it get your name on it, Dan?
No.
Card trick for you. Teller will be holding his breath for the entire card trick. Teller is holding the key to this lock, and indeed quite literally to his life. He will not relinquish that key to these supremely skilled hands. Find the card selected by Dan. The world's record for holding one's breath on purpose is 5 minutes and 35 seconds. Take any one card. Do not let me see it. Do not. Yeah, he's showing the card around, Teller.
2 minutes 30.
Nicely done, Zara. Your card with your name on it. Was it the 2 of clubs?
No.
It wasn't? No.
minutes 30.
Nicely done. Is that your card?
No.
I don't seem very worried, do I, Dan? Before the show even started, I put a card in my left-hand suit jacket pocket. Make it a little more interesting, Dan, I put this card in a sealed envelope. What does it say on that envelope, Dan?
Noon today.
Noon today, before the show even started. What I'd like you to do, Dan, listen carefully. When I tell you to, rip the top off the envelope, pull the card out. Remember, you have the punchline, I don't. So verify it is indeed your card.
5 minutes.
Nicely done. Write shoot, write value, and is your name on it. When you're sure it's your card, loudly, clearly, slowly. Yes, Penn, that's my card. Hold it up. What do we have right now? What do we have?
5 minutes 9 seconds.
Go. 5-9, Teller, we're cool. Yo, open it up loudly, clearly. Yes, Penn, that's my card. Loudly, go. Yes, Penn, that's my card.
No.
Seriously, do not make a joke. Is that your card?
No.
Is that your card, Dan?
No.
No, does it get your name on it, Dan?
No.
That's really not
5 minutes 30.
Thank you. 5:30?
Yeah.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Congratulations, Teller! You just broken Houdini's record. You signed and put it in?
Yeah.
Yeah. I palmed off the wrong card is what I did. Yeah, I haven't just told this.
6 minutes.
Teller, I haven't got it. Thank you. I have the other guy. Teller, give me the key. Teller, I'm not going to be able to do it. I didn't find. Teller, give me the key. He's right. We made a promise. We're going to stick to it. We go down. Hold on like this, Dan. D-A-N-L-A-L-I-A-L-I. How old are you, Dan?
25.
25. 5 and 2 together. That's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6 minutes
6, 7.
30.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a black card or red card? Black or red?
Red.
Red card, red. R-E. It must be on the floor. Check these out. Check them out. Check out. Did these come down here? Did you check these cards? And these cards. Check those over there. I'll check over here. Here's the card. They have the name on it. You remember what the card was? Would you give me a hand? Hand me that card. Give me that card. What are we at? Sarah, what are we at?
6:55.
6:55. Let him out, Dan. Let him out. Dan, grab the key. Look at Dan.
7
Look at
minutes.
I'm pointing. Grab the key, Dan. Let him out. The key. Look where I'm pointing. Grab the key. Grab the key. Just undo the lock. No, really, Dan, hurry. Undo the lock and just undo it. He'll just lift the top. He's got air in his lungs. He'll rise to the surface. Jiggle it, Dan. It's a copy. Jiggle it. What are we at, Zara? What are we at?
7:26.
7:26? Yeah, screw it, Dan. He's brain dead. You see this. It's an English copy. We get this. No, that's just the wrong key, Dan. Dan, there's a rule in circus. Whenever someone's attempting a dangerous stunt, they themselves are responsible for
8
their
minutes.
Thank you. Are responsible for their own rigging. So the high wire may be set by roustabouts. It's always the walker himself or herself who checks the final turnbuckles. So it was clearly Teller's responsibility to make sure this was the right key. And I don't think there's a court in the world that could blame you, Dan. Even though it's recorded on television, you locking him in and taking away his only air supply.
8 minutes 30.
Thank you. You know, reality television sometimes gets a bad rap for being cheesy, insincere.
9 minutes.
But with every new art form, sometimes someone comes along and redefines that art form. A man who is willing to die for a principle he believed in, albeit an insignificant card trick. I'd like to dedicate all my future performances to be entitled simply Penn, to the memory of this great man. Let's gaze once again on the
9 minutes
face.
30.
Thank you. Gaze once again on the face of the one true hero of our generation, ladies and gentlemen, my ex-partner, Teller. And is that your card, Dan? What it is? Is that your card? Is that your card, the Queen of Hearts? Yes. That's your name on it right there. Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you. You can keep the key with it. Let it sit anywhere. Nate, you gotta, did so much talking and yelling there, I'm just parched. Thank you, Nate. Yeah, thanks, Zeke. Get over here, I don't want to, Jonathan or I could slip or something. That's a hazard, right in there, you get that. That was amazing, Teller. Let him out. 10 minutes and 31 seconds. You would have loved this, Teller. 10 minutes and 31 seconds before the first person bothered to yell, "Let him out." And that's why we love playing England.